The cotton broker's scream was severed by the thick December morning fog, a brief, sharp sound that was quickly swallowed by the hungry quicksand claiming his legs. Augustus Graymere watched from the shadows, a cold satisfaction settling over him as their first contracted killing unfolded with the mechanical precision of a well-rehearsed play. The sound of the man's struggles mixed with the distant calls of water birds and the wet slap of cypress branches against the murky water, while the mist carried the familiar scent of decay that had become the marrow burn signature. This execution would prove that systematic murder could be transformed into a thriving business enterprise, demonstrating with brutal clarity how quickly evil spreads when it offers solutions that civilized society cannot provide. Brackennell's business partner had followed the planned route exactly, traveling alone through the heart of Marburn territory with the damning documents that could have destroyed 2 political careers and a lucrative government contract. The man had been cautious, carrying a pistol for protection against common bandits, but he remained utterly oblivious to the sophisticated trap that had been laid specifically for his elimination. Augustus had spent weeks engineering the perfect accident. The route had been subtly modified with false markers and shifted debris to funnel the victim toward a carefully prepared section of swamp where natural quicksand had been enhanced with additional mud and organic matter. Wooden planks, which appeared solid and trustworthy, were designed to collapse under a man's weight, dumping him into a pit from which escape was impossible. To any federal investigator who might later inquire, it would all appear a tragic case of an inexperienced traveler making a fatal misstep in treacherously unpredictable terrain. The official report, dated December 15, 1807, would read, Memphis cotton broker presumed drowned after horse found wandering near quicksand bog. Personal effects recovered. Suggest robbery by unknown bandits. The elimination generated immediate results that far exceeded Augustus's expectations. Alphonse Braconnell paid the agreed fee without a single question, but more importantly, he began referring other wealthy clients who faced similarly delicate problems. Word began to seep through Louisiana's network of corrupt officials and desperate merchants that certain persistent difficulties could be resolved through discreet channels, with sudden, tragic accidents befalling problematic individuals who happened to travel through remote areas. By February of 1808, the Marrowburn family was receiving inquiries from clients throughout the Mississippi River Valley. A plantation owner in Natchez needed an overseer eliminated after the man discovered irregularities in slave trading records. A shipping merchant in New Orleans wanted his partner to suffer a fatal accident before an audit revealed missing cargo. A territorial judge required the permanent silence of a witness who could expose his involvement in a complex land fraud scheme. Each contract followed the same chilling pattern: careful planning, engineered accidents, and the complete elimination of all evidence. The family's decades of experience in making people disappear permanently gave them advantages that no competitor could ever hope to match. They understood the swamp's geography better than any federal investigator, controlled territory where authorities rarely ventured, and possessed facilities for disposing of bodies that would never be discovered. Blood had truly become their currency. But managing this rapid expansion required recruiting additional operatives while maintaining the absolute security that had protected the family for over 20 years. Augustus solved this challenge by identifying distant relatives and trusted associates who possessed the necessary skills and moral flexibility to participate in systematic murder for profit. The recruitment process itself revealed how extensively networks of violence and corruption had already penetrated Louisiana society. Many of the men Augustus approached had already been involved in killings, duels, slave rebellions, conflicts with Native American tribes, or simple murders disguised as accidents. What the Marburns offered was organization, meticulous planning, and, most importantly, a steady and substantial income from clients who could afford to pay handsomely for professional elimination services. Crispin Thornlack proved particularly valuable in expanding operations beyond the family's immediate territory. His profound knowledge of swamp geography allowed him to identify locations throughout southern Louisiana where convincing accidents could be arranged for traveling victims. More importantly, his connections among fur trappers and river pilots provided a constant stream of intelligence about potential targets and their movement patterns. Meanwhile, Pearsall Windelmark established himself in New Orleans, cultivating relationships among wealthy merchants, government officials, and plantation owners who might require elimination services. His social skills and legitimate business front gave him access to the highest circles where desperate people discussed problems they couldn't solve through legal means. Windelmark became an expert at identifying clients who possessed both the powerful motivation and the vast resources to pay for professional murder. The network's geographic spread created multiple advantages beyond simply expanding the client base. Victims could be eliminated far from their home territories, making investigations more difficult for local authorities. Evidence could be distributed across multiple parishes, preventing any single sheriff from ever developing a complete picture of the operation's true scope. Most importantly, the family could now offer clients airtight alibis by ensuring that contracted killings occurred while the paying party was visibly present in distant, very public locations. What began to disturb Augustus more than the moral implications of their work was how quickly their business model attracted imitators throughout the Louisiana territory. By the spring of 1808, reports were circulating of similar operations emerging in Arkansas, Mississippi, and western Tennessee. The Marrowburns had demonstrated that professional killing could be highly profitable, and other criminal families were now attempting to replicate their success. This new competition threatened everything Augustus had built. These rival operations lacked the Marrowburns' experience and geographic advantages, leading to sloppy executions that attracted unwanted federal attention. Worse still, some competitors were attempting to underbid established contracts, creating price wars that could destroy the entire industry's profitability. The solution Augustus developed would consolidate his family's control over contract killing throughout the Mississippi River Valley while systematically eliminating anyone who dared to compete with their enterprise. The war for control of systematic murder was about to transform the Louisiana Bayou into a battlefield where only the most ruthless family would survive.